This video is a review of the Gyroor C1S electric scooter. I'm going to unbox, assemble, go over the controls, and see how capable it is at picking up groceries. Stay tuned to find out. The C1S has a 550 watt rear hub motor with a max speed of 18.6 miles per hour or 30 kilometers per hour. Thumb throttle, 36 volt, 7.8 amp hour battery with a range of up to 20 miles or 32 kilometers. Front and rear disc brakes, 12-inch tires, headlight, taillight. Weighs 53 pounds or 24 kilograms and can support up to 265 pounds or 120 kilograms. Additional specs can be found in the description section below. This is the box that it came in. It's fairly small. Underneath the scooter, there was this basket, and inside the basket, there's the tools. There's a few nuts, bolts, Allen keys, the cable for the charger. This looks like foot pegs, and then this is the instruction manual. Let's quickly go over the instruction manual. It says to fully charge when not in use, charge once a month. When not in use, check the tire pressure before riding. It's 2.2 to 2.5 bar. If you need any help, contact them. Their email is, and it doesn't say anything. Here are the parts of the scooter. We'll go over the assembly shortly. Looks like we just need to lift the stem, tighten it, pull this lever, and then install the handlebar, and then adjust the seat. Also to install the rear basket. Make sure that the lights and brakes are working before using. Here's the display functions. We'll go over this in a second. Here's the fault codes. This is how you charge the battery, warnings, precautions, first use, precautions for safe riding, maintenance and care, adjusting the brake calipers, tightening, loosening the brake cables, and then the specs. There's warranty information, storage and disposal, and this is the warranty card. Let's install the stem. There's an arrow right here. We need to twist the wheel so this lines up as well. On the stem, there's also an arrow. We need to pull this red lever up, pull this lever out, pull this down, put this in here. We want all three of these arrows lining up together. When they are, we will take the Allen key that fits. That's pretty tight. Now we can pull this down. There's also some adjustments that you can make right here. In case this is too loose or too tight, we'll push this in and it seems pretty solid out of the box. Coming up here, we'll pull this lever and then turn this bottom one clockwise to loosen it. And make sure you keep all of this in the same order. There's a bolt with a washer, and then this bracket with another curved washer, and this lever. We'll slide it off. We'll put the handlebar in place with the brake levers facing forward. There's some grooves on the handlebar. Make sure they're centered with the stem. We'll slide this bracket back in place. Make sure that this curved washer piece is still there. Using the bolt with the washer, we'll feed it back through. And then make sure it goes back in this lever, making sure that this handlebar is centered. You can also adjust it to your most comfortable position, and when you like it, you can tighten this. Right now it's still too loose, so I'll continue tightening it until there is enough compression where it doesn't move. Let's install the seat. You can adjust the seat to your desired height, and when it's good, you can tighten it. In the rear, there's 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, that we need to remove. Make sure that you hold on to the washers and set them aside. Taking our basket, we'll line it up with the holes. We'll screw these bolts with the washer back on. Make sure that the basket is centered. I'm looking at the rear fender, trying to center it with the grate in the middle, and then you can tighten them. Let's put the pegs on. There's a slope to it, so I assume that when you're sitting, you'd want to rest it facing you. Looking at this piece, it's more circular. On the bracket, it's squarish, and this also has a square to it. So I'm assuming that this goes on this side. And then you would take your locking nut and place it on the outside. It also comes with a wrench, which you can use to tighten it. And this does collapse. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Next, we'll check the brakes for any rubbing. You can lift the front wheel and then spin it. And I don't hear any rubbing from the disc on the brakes. And then for the rear, there's no rubbing either. The charging port is down here. There's this piece of rubber that you would remove. Put this plug in there, then put the other end to the outlet. When it's charging, this LED would be red, and when it's fully charged, it'll turn green. On the handlebar, we have the front brake lever, a bell, the rear brake lever, there's a power button, the display with one mode button, the twist throttle, and then 2 grips. Let's take a look at the display. Out of the box, there's a plastic cap covering the power button. We can take off this, and then you can press the power button to turn it on. Looking over here, we have the current speed in miles per hour, the gear, there's information. This one currently says trip in miles, and then the battery level. So if we press the M button once, it changes the gear to mode 1. Pressing it again goes to mode 2, and pressing it again goes to mode 3. If we double press it, it turns on the headlight and tail light. If we double press it again, it turns it off. And then if we press it 3 times, nothing happens. If you long press it, it changes the mode. This is currently the voltage, 39.4. If we press it again, it's supposed to show the error code, but because there's not any, it goes back to odometer. If we press it again, it goes back to trip. I'm going to go to gear 1 and test the max speed by twisting this throttle. And we're getting 12.4 miles per hour. In gear 2, we're getting 15.5 miles per hour. In gear 3, we're getting 18.6 miles per hour. And that's pretty much everything. In order to turn it off, we press this power button. I'm heading to the grocery store, and while I go there, I'm going to test acceleration, braking, and hill capabilities. Right now I'm in mode 1, and I'm going to test the max speed. And we stopped at 13.2 miles per hour, and it went back down to 12.5. Right now we're in mode 2. And the motor cut off around 15.5 miles per hour. Now we're in mode 3. And the motor kicked off around 19 miles per hour. It went back down to 18.8 miles per hour. I'm going to test the brakes by hitting the max speed and then slamming on the brakes to see how soon it stops. At this first cone, I hit the brakes when the front wheel was at the first cone, and we stopped over here. That's about 10 feet away. The brakes feel pretty solid. They are mechanical brakes, so they don't feel as responsive as hydraulic brakes, but those are also more expensive. I think for what it is, it's pretty good. I'm going to test the hill now. It's advertised to take up to 15% slopes. This one's probably 20, and then the one after it's probably 25. But let's see how well it does. We're hitting the incline, and we're at 9.6 miles per hour, and it's dropping off to 7.5 miles per hour, and it's holding it steadily. Now it's going down to 7.2, and now it's at 7.1 until we hit the stop sign. I just picked up some groceries and I was able to fit 2 paper bags worth of stuff. There is a little bit more space right here. If you guys are interested in dimensions, this is 19 inches long, 9 inches wide, but it does taper on the ends, and this is 8 inches deep. The back is 13 inches, 9 inches wide, 5 inches deep. If you guys have groceries that are top heavy, this might tip over, but I have bananas. They're bottom heavy, so it was fine here. Right here, it can't fit another paper bag, but you can fit probably a gallon of milk. And if you wanted, you can carry a backpack and you can carry more stuff. What I like about this electric scooter is that you can carry stuff on it. You can carry about 2.5 paper bags worth of stuff. You can also carry a dog in there or even a child if you wanted, but I don't advise that you do that. The seat is very comfortable. The seating position is very comfortable as well. You're pretty much sitting on like a moped. And it's just nice that it can go up to 18.6 miles per hour. It also has disc brakes on the front and rear and 12-inch tires. It's able to go 20 miles, although I wasn't able to test it, and it can carry 265 pounds, including the rider weight. I didn't have any issues with the scooter itself, but the only thing I would suggest is having these pegs lock. Right now, they're pretty loose, so when you're riding on it, they do wobble a little, and if your feet move, they kind of collapse, and it feels a little unstable. So if they were able to lock right there, or at least putting a pin in there to keep them sturdy, it would feel much better. Another suggestion that I have is adding cruise control. There's some stretches where I'm just going full throttle and I have to continue holding the throttle, and it'd be nice if I could just let go and continue at that same speed. If you guys are in the market for a sitting electric scooter, you can check this one out. For the latest pricing, check out the description section below. I think currently it's $389.99, and I have a 15% off coupon. Please like this video if you found it helpful. Feel free to leave questions or comments in the comment section below. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching, and take care.